Hello, good afternoon. Oh, that's really loud. Sorry, Smash, I just completely deafened you, didn't I?
I have been absolutely deafened.
We've not even started and I've already destroyed my fellow announcer. A good day at the office. Welcome back to Five Nations Playoffs here in Fenton Manor Sports Complex in the gorgeous city of Stoke-on-Trent. I have not seen the sky for many hours. I don't remember life outside the sports hall. We're very excited to bring you the second of two semi-finals in the Tier 2 WFTDA side of Five Nations Roller Derby. We have got Rebellion Roller Derby up against Hallam Hellcats Roller Derby. I'm Loud and Queer. I'm joined by...
I'm Smash.
That was, okay, I know that was the campest thing you've ever said somehow.
How?
I'm Smash.
I'm Smash.
Like, I've known you for a while now, and like that's
somehow that's the campest.
Somehow that's the campest you've ever said, which
just
is
my name.
Yeah. So, Smash, my camp friend, would you like to take us through Rebellion's roster?
Yes. So, skating in black this afternoon is Rebellion Roller Derby. We have got number 10, Steph Sentence, 105, Binks, 13, Boris, 14, Miller, 19, Bam Bam, 20, Wreckham Ralph, 22, Not the Brave, 271, Pandemonium, 313, Ginger Snaps, 33, JT, 38, Titch, number 42, Caliber, number 52, Eraser, and number 888, Kiki.
And skating in white this afternoon, Hallam Hellcats Roller Derby, we have 0, Wilma Wheels Move, 14, Oliver Sudden, 16, the captain, Abattoir, 1907, Mabel in a China Shop, 324, Goldie Blocks, 34, Genuine Article, 36, Faye, 421, Storm Cooper, 666, River Sticks, 73, Kerfoot, 800 Carnage, 83 Grimblock, and 9 Ansel. Like, reading through those rosters, I feel kind of like weirdly nostalgic because, like, looking at like Rebellion, like, I swear Boris keeps kind of coming on and off Rebellion, like sometimes retiring, sometimes coming back. They've got back onto the Team Wales roster, which is super exciting. But I say this because Rebellion, like quite a lot of teams after the pandemic, have had to do a lot of rebuilding. They have lost over the last couple of years quite a few key players, like quite a few of the old guards.
Yep.
They've actually joined forces this season with the Vendetta Vixens, who are a gorgeous team, and they're like sharing venues and practice and things. And they've said that's really helped them prep for this. So yeah, it's nice to see some old names back on the roster, and really excited to watch this game. Hallam, I remember from playoffs last year because they were in Tier 3 last year. They were in my tier, and they won the tier. They beat Wiltshire in the final. So to win playoffs one year and to be back in the semi-final of the next tier up the following year is unreal, right?
It's just been an astronomical rise for them over these past couple of years.
That was the phrase I was going to use.
Oh, sorry.
You stole my phrase, Smash. How dare you? But yeah, no, absolutely astronomical. Who have we got? We have got a slightly blurry there we go. Just as I say it, our marvellous camera team put it right up and close to the action. I still can't see who it is. That's Ginger Snaps for Rebellion, and that is number 9, who is, I can't read numbers today, Ansel for Hallam, and Hallam pick up the first lead of the game. Our excellent producer just reminded me that the names are on the screen. Like I said, I've not seen the sky for many hours, so let's be gentle with me, dear readers, dear viewers. Lovely little backward slide there from Ansel, looking very relaxed. First blood of the game from Hallam. I keep wanting to say Hallam.
Hallam?
Yeah, like, or Hellslam, or something, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is Hallam. Apologies to anyone in the north who I've inadvertently offended.
We've got two southerners on the mic.
I know, it's really, really quite a choice. At least we weren't in the Newcastle-Sheffield game, because I think there would have been complaints.
We would have been lynched.
Yeah, I think. So we've got Boris wearing the star for Rebellion after telling me a couple of years ago, I'm not jamming anymore. I'm not doing jamming anymore. I'm not doing it. And Kerfoot for Hallam Hellcats. Lovely little lateral hop there from Boris, who picks up lead for Rebellion. Oh, it's Genuine Article, apparently, jamming. They're switching the names. So whoever it is for Hallam has been held beautifully behind this really dynamic Rebellion tripod. And Hallam in some penalty trouble already. 2-4 in the pack for the team in white. We're still going. You can probably hear the whistles coming in on the feed, but oh no, we're not still going. This is the confusing thing. The marvellous thing about this weekend is we've got 2 tracks of roller derby, but it's also very confusing because whistles going on both tracks.
You have to be able to distinguish between the 2 types of whistles being used in the hall.
And that seems like too much of an ask for me and my tiny, tiny brain.
We're just here to talk, not to listen.
Well, quite. So we have number 8-3, Grimlock for Hallam Hellcats. Lovely line, finding on the outside line there for the team in white. Not very quickly there for Hallam Hellcats. But in the meantime, Pandemonium does escape for Rebellion. Grimlock on a scoring pass. And calls it off before Pandemonium hits the pack. So we've got a 1-point game. Ooh. I really hope it's a tight game. Do you know what I mean? I think that all the roller derby we've seen so far this weekend has been really high quality, but we've had some pretty big differentials.
We haven't seen those really juicy tight games that we love to travel to a tournament for.
Yeah, I think the juice. First of all, that choice of adjectives, juicy tight games. I'm having you fired immediately. But yeah, you're right. The juicy tight games will probably really step into overdrive tomorrow with the finals and so on. In the meantime, Binks is lead for Rebellion. First time out with the star today for the Rebel. And Ansel does escape the pack, but as we have seen quite a lot today, especially in these early stages of the game, the players are being quite conservative with the call-offs, because the only thing that matters today is winning. It doesn't matter about differential. It doesn't actually matter if you have a really tight score. All you want to get out of today is the next step up.
Yep.
Because, the winner of this game will go on to play Newcastle, who won against Sheffield Steel earlier on. So they will go into the Tier 2 women's final. Now, I'm not massively involved in the structuring of Five Nations, but the winner of the final will definitely be promoted to the next tier. But it might be, depending on the numbers of leagues next year, it might be that both of them do. So that's happened in the past.
So it's everything to play for, even if you don't necessarily win the gold medal this weekend.
100%.
There's still potentially a chance of promotion for next season.
Yeah. Nice work there by Ginger Snaps, using her blockers really well to come through the pack, pick up the 4 points before the Hallam Jammer hits the pack.
So after 5 minutes of gameplay, looking at 16.
5 minutes. Oh my
5 minutes. 16 to Rebellion, 8 to Hallam. So
nice low score.
Low score. We've seen games so far this weekend that have kind of far exceeded that in terms of kind of score for even just 5 minutes of gameplay. So like you said, really conservative, really kind of short, sweet jams. Not letting things get too far away from anyone. And
so far, only 3 penalties on the board: 1 for Rebellion, 2 for Hallam. So again, a really nice clean game at the moment. Look, watch as I jinx that. Boris with the star coming up against Wilma Wheels move, but does pick up leads. Some nice one-on-one blocking there from the Hallam captain. Not captain, Hallam player. Sorry, lost my words in my mouth there.
And we've had our first star pass of the game. Faye taking the star and passing off to Wilma Wheels move for Hallam. And
we've had our first jammer penalty of the game, I think. Yeah, Boris is sitting in the box. That's not come up on the screen yet.
So that's forearms penalty.
The forearms penalties today, my friend, have been the hot cake that is flying off the shelves. Everyone wants a forearms penalty. So we've got our first 2-minute jam, first power jam of the game.
Just need some apex jumps thrown in there, and then it's just been peppered with everything you want.
Now, Hallam playing really conservatively here, sending 1-0 and holding back a 3-wolf, preparing for the re-entry of Boris, and being a little overcautious, in my view, because Wilma Wheels' move is now the active jammer, and I don't think they were before. I feel like there's been a star pass somewhere, but...
So Boris being sent off for another forearms penalty.
Oh. Sorry, I feel like I've lost my head a little bit in that jam because somehow there was a star pass, but I didn't notice it.
So Faye handed off to Wilma Wheelsmove fairly early on in the jam. Boris being sent off for a forearms penalty, now sitting for a second forearms penalty.
So we're having the full 2 minutes of this jam run. And Hallam struggling a little bit to separate Rebellion out, but do patiently work that pack through.
So
I think the thing I've learned playing against Rebellion in the past, right, is that if you want to offend Rebellion in the physical sense, you need to send more than one person. They're such solid skaters. Obviously, we've got all body types on every team, but characteristically, Rebellion skaters tend to be like quite tall, quite solid people. And you can't, unless you're an absolute little wrecking ball, you can't send one over and hope to move them in a meaningful way.
I think we've absolutely seen that. The fact that in that first penalty that Boris was sitting, they gave nothing away to Wilma Wheelsmove in terms of space. So, you know, you need to do a bit more to get your jammer out. But there's Boris back out on track.
Yeah, Ansel is lead for Hallam, so has control of the clock here and is going to call that jam. Are we going to get a lead change here? Ooh, spoopy vibes. Oh, we've got a 1 point game.
And a lead change.
And a lead change. Here's that, what was it, juicy tight game that
I'm
you wanted.
not going to repeat what I said because I don't want to get cancelled.
I'm going to repeat it for you. The internet remembers everything. No, it's lovely to have a tight game. I don't think anyone here, you know, any competitive skater wants to have a blowout game. I don't think there's as much fun in it, if I'm being perfectly honest. It's nice to win, but you want to really feel like you've
earned it.
Yeah. So Miller for the first time with the start for Rebellion now. Kafut out for their second go around. Miller finds room on the inside. Oh, I think I've skated against Miller before. Yeah, she's really fast. Good luck, Hallam. Yeah, so she emerges kind of, I swear she only just got out the pack and she's already back on her scoring pass. Nice lateral hold here from Hallam, but she's just really good at finding those little inches of space.
That's what I've noticed so far this game. The Rebellion jammers finding very, very small spaces, either in lane 1 or in lane 4, and incredible footwork, either just going straight through it or spinning around to get through.
I don't think, I don't know if he's an active coach anymore, but Blitzkrieg, who has jammed for various MRDA teams and for Team England on the MRDA side, is obviously an amazing jammer.
Yep.
And really, really good at that kind of risk-taking, small space, invading style. And you do see that a lot in Rebellion's blockers. They're really gutsy.
I thought we were going to have a one-hand down situation there.
Would have been cool, but Binks, great core control there, stays upright, but trapped behind this lovely Hallam tripod. The lateral movement of that Rebellion tripod at the front as well, doing a great job covering the space. Oh, this waterfalling is insane. Great work there. Now, Grimlock is lead, but Binks is out just a few feet behind them. But you know, with such a tight scoreline, that's a risky gamut to run. 1 point going up for Hallam. It's fine. This is all very relaxing and normal. It would be a proper fairy tale if Hallam won this game, right? Like, imagine being in 2 consecutive playoffs finals,
being promoted
in different tiers, like. And being promoted into. I'm not actually sure that's ever happened. I'm not au fait with the wide history of Five Nations.
If there's any listeners at home that can.
Any stats nerds, get on your internet. Ginger Snaps, nice quickly there for Rebellion. Ansel also out the pack. This is what I'm noticing. Regardless of whoever gets lead, the other jammer is managing to get out. So there is a kind of. Not equality, but there's the ability match is a really good one, I think.
It's quite balanced, and I think that's the reason we're not seeing these massive kind of multiple scoring passes. The only time we've seen that is when we've had those power jams earlier in the game.
And that said, Ginger Snaps is on a second pass now. We'll have the full 8. Ansel following with 4. Oh, snaps with a really nice little hip flick around the Hallam wall there. If Hallam can get that lateral tracking that Rebellion are very good at, then that will help to shut those jammers down, I think, because they're so good on the lines. We're in a timeout, so I'm just going to give a quick shout out to our skating and non-skating officials for this game. We've got Gaston, Bane in the Ass, Otter Chaos, Errington, Denial, Esme Weatherwax, Oyu, MO, Juggernaut, Nat Safe for Work, Jins, May K. Call, Strapping Young Beard, Cookie Dough, Dick Van Stripe, Max Payne, and Polly. We appreciate you. Noble, stripy, and black-shirted people of roller derby. I need to find better epithets for them, but they're great. We love them very much indeed. And our wonderful producer tells us that we're pretty even on jam leads so far. We've had 10 jams, and it looks like kind of 4 leads Rebellion, 3 leads Hallam-ish, and then there's been a couple of leaderless jams or jams that they've lost the lead. We don't have the exact maths, but you don't come here for maths. You come here to hear me. And Smash makes a grimace off camera. How dare you, sir? No, apparently people haven't paid for the privilege of hearing me rabbit on about
Those
roller
were
derby.
your words on our announcer meeting.
Do you know what maybe people do? My passion for the sport is undeniable, even though I sometimes say some silly things. Kafut, the game's Kafut, is out of the pack and lead for Hallam. Binks also out the pack. We are setting up on the apex between turns 1 and 2. Rebellion 2 short in the pack. Lovely 2-wall from Rebellion. Wreckham Ralph absolutely solid with Steph's sentence there.
So even with 2 sat in the penalty box, still doing incredibly strong defence.
Like both of those blockers individually are a wall unto themselves. They're super experienced, really calm and controlled. And the pack really stretched out now in turns 3 and 4. Kafut running this jam, and we've got one in the box for Hallam, so maybe she's trying to spring them, but going to make that decision to leave her jammer bereft. Not jammer, blocker.
Bereft blocker.
Bereft blocker.
More tongue twisters in roller derby, please.
What is the worst tongue twister in roller derby?
To be fair, Wilma Will's move.
Wilma Will's move is that's pretty good.
It's up there.
Yeah, no, it's... Yeah, I'm going to have to think that now. But I'm thinking in terms of like what we might generically say.
Oh, in kind of like standard gameplay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Pandemonium and Faye. Faye for the first time with Hallam. So Hallam seem to have a really like deep rotation, or at least people who are willing to jam, which is not always the same thing. And I wonder if they're doing it for fresh legs, because the Rebellion's walls are so strong, so difficult to push against.
So we have had a star pass for Hallam. So Faye passing off to Goldie Blocks. Faye has jammed earlier and passed it off to Wilma Will's move. So it was Faye that was jamming when we had a star pass earlier in the game.
Well, and star passes have been absolutely instrumental today. I mean, although Sheffield lost against Newcastle, one of the ways they were starting to put the pressure on Newcastle to either call jams or to put points up is passing off to people like Wince, who did just an amazing job as pivots for the Sheffield team. Earlier on, Oxford used their star passes really well. So, you know, these teams know the good basic building blocks of roller derby. And yeah, you can't have an ego as a jammer. It's the star that scores the points. So get it out.
Ooh, I've never heard that one before.
What, the star that scores the points?
Yeah.
My favourite one, actually, as a blocker, is that the blockers make the points, the jammers collect them.
I'm taking all this wisdom back home to Dorset with me.
If you could tell Dorset how the game of roller derby is played. No, I'm joking. I love Dorset. No, but I like the fact that, I don't know, I've been thinking about this more recently, particularly with like some European teams, where I feel like there's less, not pressure but a word akin to that, to specialise in the position. I feel like when I started out in derby, it was very much, are you going to be a jammer or are you going to be a blocker? And there was less encouragement about like everyone trying out everything. I don't know, and I obviously think you can specialise in these things, but what Hallam is showing is that if you have pivots who are really good jammers, that's a very valuable asset.
Absolutely.
Bit of offence coming in there for Ansel in the form of Genuine Article, and great work there by the team in white to pick up lead. Boris still with the star coming up against Abattoir and Storm Cooper. Really nice hold here on Boris, who is a not easy person to hold when they have the star.
And that is Boris, I believe, being sent off for a cut track penalty.
Oh, no, they're still very much on track. You're right. That one of the refs is signalling a track cut, and it is Boris going to the box. You are correct.
I tend to be.
Even a stop clock's right twice a day. I'm so horrible to you, and I don't know why. You're a dear friend and a wonderful announcer. I've only had 2 cups of coffee today, and I'm in Stoke-on-Trent, and I've been up since 6. So please don't judge me for any sass I give you. It's all to make you a better person.
I love you.
I love you too. We've got our first power start of the game for Hallam, and they've put out Kafut. So Boris with a full 30 in the box, which is dangerous. Look at that lateral tracking from Rebellion. Just really nice work there. Sealing up every little inch. And that...
Is that a multiplayer on Kafut?
It is.
A multiplayer on a jammer.
The lesser spotted multiplayer jammer one. Now, Kafut hadn't established lead. Boris could still get lead here.
It is open.
And the whole track indeed is open. I think Hallam at that point just went, yeah, fair enough. So
yeah, JT, that was a directional. Go sit down.
We love JT. JT's great. Oh, Boris taking a big old hit, popping back up. Kafut now released. And Boris emphatically gesturing the number of points they think they have been awarded, which is the full 4. What more could you want?
8.
Were you in roller derby where they were jammer lap points?
Yes. I'm not that much of a baby.
Well, I don't know, because there are people in my league who are around in the days of knee starts.
Oh,
and
starts.
And I'm like, Grandma, tell me about the knee start days. I've never seen a game of roller derby with knee starts. But I do sometimes miss the jammer lap point, although I think it is a particularly cruel thing to rub in the face of a jammer. Some great work there by Grimlock, just almost having to somersault over the arms of a Rebellion player. Ginger Snaps having some trouble with this Hallam wall.
They're reforming incredibly well, incredibly dynamic in terms of reforming, doing the job they are there to do. Rebellion having a bit of penalty issue. There were 2 blockers sat in the penalty box, now down to 1.
And they clear the pack for Snaps now, but that took a while to get Snaps out. 40 seconds. Not usual.
Yeah, Grim listening to the crowd and the bench, shouting to call it there, having been recycled to the back of the pack. 6 points picked up for Hallam, which, for the game that we've seen so far, that's fairly one of the highest scores we've seen for Hallam so far.
I think this is, to be fair, some of my favourite kind of derby where you've got this actually really quite low scoring, very close. We're 12 points apart. That's spicy.
That's less than 12.
That is less than 12. No, wait. No, it is 12
no,
points.
I can't
Don't
math.
you dare question my mathematics, which is always perfect. It's absolutely not. What you don't know, dear readers, is that I have a large calculator in front of me. No, I'm joking. I don't. I can do arithmetic. So Binks with leads, flies into the wall, finds a Hallam player, and does one of the most dramatic call-offs. Looked like she was playing the drums on her hips there.
It does. I enjoyed that. It's like, I'm going to hit one hip at a time, not going to do them simultaneously.
Yeah, which is technically against the rules, right? So.
Oh. Rules?
Well, yeah, I know. Apparently they exist. Apparently they're there to make the game safe and fun.
Oh, who needs that?
Well,
safety.
Ugh,
gross.
Well, actually, we're really into safety, and roller derby is literally most of what we do.
True.
Speaking of which, if you are watching this back, dear medics, later on in the bath with a pint, Thank you so much for being here. We love our medical team. Thank you also to all our volunteers. We've already shouted out the officials, but yeah, like our volunteers, our photographers, the Five Nations committee and crew who have done an amazing job at getting this back. You know, playoffs last year was the first playoff since the before time, since the pandemic, and it was one track. It was one track there, and so to be back on 2 tracks this year is really, really cool.
Fenton Manor does seem like the spiritual home
Fenton?
of playoffs.
Yes. I think the last time I was here for playoffs was something like
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Was that the year we were on the BBC? That was good vibes. Yeah. My moment of fame.
You did the final, didn't you?
If I'm being honest, I
remember.
I really can't remember. There are some announcers who have these like crystal clear memories of every game they've ever done and like every sport they've ever been in. And at some point it all blurs into one. It's all great. I love it. Feel very privileged to talk about this very silly sport with people who also love to talk about this very silly sport. We're in an official timeout. Just want to give a little bit of a shout out to Airy Fairy on Rebellion, who really sadly isn't here because she broke her ankle last weekend. So we send her lots of love and solidarity, and we hope you're watching your team and are okay. Like, breaks before a game, yeah, it's the ultimate suck. We had an old Reiki player break her ankle earlier as well, so massive love and solidarity to that person. And I'm really sad because my team are playing Old Reiki in a couple of weeks, so that sucks.
So you're not going to have the full team there.
I'm sure they'll manage. I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, no, the last time my team were going up to play Old Reiki, I was due to play my first ever game with them, and I broke my wrist like the week before. So I'm really crossing all my fingers that my limbs make it to Edinburgh intact this time round.
I was meant to be at playoffs in 2017. I was at playoffs in 2017, but I was selling merch because I busted my ankle the week before playoffs.
It's a curse.
It is.
Tis a curse. I wonder if we've got any more information that we could talk about in the timeout. In fact, I say that, and I know we do because you messaged it to me earlier. I'll talk you through like kind of Rebellion's season. So almost a year ago, they lost to Dublin, but that's Dublin A, who have previously been a tier 1 like team and have played in like the wider WFTDA tournaments. And then they lost to Old Reiki in November. Again, Old Reiki's kind of A team. But then since February, when they've been in Five Nations in Tier 2 South, they've just absolutely smashed. They, as the youth would say, they ate and left no crumbs. I believe that's the phrase. I'm a secondary school teacher, so I'm trying to learn the lingo of the children. But they beat North Wales 321 to 149. They beat Manchester Valkyries by 319 to 144. And they beat Sheffield, who we saw on this track just before, 214 to 198. So that was probably their closest game, which makes sense given that Sheffield are second in the tier, I think. So yeah, it's been a really strong season for Rebellion. They're 41 on flat track stats at the moment. Hallam are 54. Do you want to talk to us about what's happened with Hallam this season? Because that's been pretty cool.
So Hallam finishing second in Tier 2 North this year. So coming up against Wiltshire at the start of the season back in March.
Love Wiltshire.
Shout
out to Wiltshire.
Bunch
of babes.
So they beat Wiltshire very, very close. 151 to Hallam, 147. Obviously, that being a rematch from the final.
Oh man, that final
playoffs last year.
That final was spicy.
They came up against Newcastle, where Newcastle had a significant lead over them. 238 to Newcastle, 54 to Hallam. The only loss that they've had this season. And then they played up against Dundee, where Hallam won 221 to 186.
Now that surprises. I mean, like, that's still quite a close game, but like Dundee, similar to Newcastle, have got a real core of players like Lansborough, who's Team Scotland player, who are just, like, they've been skating forever and just really trust each other. So very, very cool to see Hallam coming up against all these well-established teams and doing a phenomenal job.
So Kafut there, making their way out and picking up lead jammer for Hallam. We've seen so far that often the Rebellion blockers need a bit of offence and quite a significant bit of offence for Hallam to get their jammers out. So for Kafut to get out solely on their own steam is wonderful to see.
I think Pandemonium is one of Rebellion's jammers who is, don't get me wrong, really strong, but more of the kind of nippy, jumpy jammer as opposed to the pushy jammer. And Rebellion's really strong pushy jammers are forced to contend with, so perhaps a little bit easier on the Hallam blockers at that point. We had a bit of a pause a couple of jams ago because Ansel is off for injury. We hope she's okay. If the jam was called for injury, she'll have to sit for 3 jams, so we might not see her back out with the star for a little bit. We got Miller back out for Rebellion. I think this is only Miller's second jam of the game, so they're putting her in quite low rotation.
But very, very strong that first time that they came out with the star.
Massively. Grimblock for Hallam. We've barely moved past the jam line. This lateral wall movement from both teams is delightful.
Hallam starting this jam with only 2 blockers on track.
Yeah.
And still doing an incredible job of keeping Miller held back. I mean, we're 30 seconds in and lead yet to be called.
Yeah, and now up to full force. So the captain, Abattoir, heading in for some offense, now bridging the pack. Steph Sentence won at the front, but great fight there from Grimblock. Almost 50 seconds elapsed in the jam. I still can't believe this scoreline, man. It's 11 points. Grimblock coming in, comes up against number 20, Reckon Ralph.
We've had a star pass. We've got Steph Sentence now jamming for Rebellion. I think the first star pass we've seen from Rebellion.
I think so, yeah. And Steph's a really fantastic all-round player. Like, I've watched her play for years. So really smart of Hallam to call the jam there. You don't want to let Steph hit you with the star. It's not the one.
Not the one.
Not the vibes.
Not very Brat Summer.
Not very mindful.
Not very demure.
No.
I
knew we were going to get that in there somewhere, and I wanted it to happen organically, and I'm so glad it did. We didn't plan that, gentle listeners. Ginger Snaps back with the star for Rebellion. Ginger's just a really great jammer. Super, super dynamic. Very strong. But do you know what? The Hallam Hellcats had the edge on Ginger there. Who is it with the star?
Mystery Jammer has been hit down and calls the jam.
Yeah, nice little shoulder throw there from Ginger Snaps, who just went, do you know what? You might be lead, but I'm not going to let you dominate that jam.
You may be lead, but I am going to hit you down.
Yeah.
Think about what you've done.
It's always a risk for a jammer to go to that hit, because you're so exposed out there, and if you get even an inch off, it's high risk, high reward, isn't it? Binks and Kafut now. Hallam in this completely defensive formation, but Binks powering through, does hit the ground, which gives Hallam the time to reform a bit, but really just very conscious, patient track awareness there from Binks. Picks up lead for Rebellion, and the star pass goes off to Wilma Wheels move.
I think that's the 3rd time Wilma's received the star so far this game.
Yeah, she is still in the pack because she was hit off by, who was it? I think the pivot who you see now, which is Steph Sentence. And Binks having a lovely time doing her laps, whilst Wilma is still trying to get through those Rebellion blockers, which they're just going, do you know what, Wilma, we're locking you down as much as we can.
Wilma Wills move, not past us they won't.
Completes the initial as a Hallam blocker goes to the box, so it will... but we've also got Binks going to the box.
For a cut track penalty.
So that means we've got the full 2 minutes. We've got a power jam for Hallam.
So Hallam still yet to score so far, and
Well, I think that will be the first 4 points
Those are
go
the
up for
first
Hallam.
4, yeah.
There we go. But Hallam losing another blocker to the box. They've ridden some penalty trouble on the Hellcat side. Genuine Article sitting at 4 penalties at the moment. Got 3 players in Rebellion sitting on 3.
So we have now got Binks back on track and finds a very, very open lane 1 to make their way out and pick up an additional 4 points, bringing them to 12 so far for this jam. So as it comes to the natural conclusion, Hallam picking up 4, I think, unless we get
No, they get the extra 3 on the pass.
3. So 7 picked up by Hallam, 12 for Rebellion. So we're on 51 to Hallam, 63 to Rebellion.
I think this
12
is
points again.
I think this is the closest game we've had so far today.
Of the ones I've seen, it is absolutely.
So we've had Cambridge and 7. Cambridge were definitely streets ahead there.
Yeah.
Notts and Devon. Notts were streets ahead. We've had Sheffield and Newcastle. Newcastle streets ahead.
Chaos
and Wirral. Wirral streets ahead. This is the closest game of today. Definitely.
By a country mile.
I don't think we've had any other games with this narrow differential for so long, which is just real testament to both these teams.
So we have got Ansel, who is lead for Hallam, being recycled to the back of the pack. Pandemonium with a star pass, handing off to, is that Steph Centre?
That's JT.
JT! Ansel now picking up points.
Now, sick slide move there by JT. I wish I could be that cool, man. Ansel still running the gamut of this. No, hits the hips.
JT at the end there, just being like, no, I'm stood here.
So great work there from both teams. I think we might get some more points in just a second. Jam refs consulting briefly.
That was a beautiful, beautiful jam.
It was lovely. It was like a Renaissance painting.
I love photos of roller derby where there's a star pass going on.
Yeah.
And it's Renaissance level artistry.
Now, it's interesting that Rebellion haven't put Boris back out. Boris has had 3 penalties, I think, and that might have rattled them slightly. Boris is also a really exceptional blocker, so I don't know if they'll bump them into that rotation. Obviously, Rebellion have got a really deep jammer rotation, so they can afford to sit them off for a bit, let them compose themselves.
So Miller taking the star off before lead has been established.
Oh, and they've passed it off to, I think that's Steph's sentence. Yeah, interesting. I mean, lead's still open for Grimlock, but these Rebellion players are having absolutely none of it, and Steph's now in scoring position. So, do you know what? Fair play, fair dues.
That is a stretched out pack.
Yeah, that is some chewing gum roller derby going on right there. This is the second star pass that Miller has given to Steph Sentence, so there's clearly a nice trusting working relationship here. Lovely defensive work going on from these Hallam blockers, just getting right to the edge, not giving Steph an inch. Grimlock now leads, not yet in scoring position. Here she comes.
So this is the second star pass we've seen handed over to Steph Sentence, but this is the first time that they've been in a scoring position.
Sure.
Last time it was called off before they were able to hit the wall.
And they probably have points in the pocket at this point.
We're just not seeing them.
They've got at least 2 points. Grimlock really struggling with Rebellion going into full force 4D lockdown.
I mean, she's in control of the clock, but we've only got less than 10 seconds left.
I mean, I think she's running. I think she's putting the trust in her blockers to hold Steph. No, she's like, no, I don't trust you anymore.
There's only 2 seconds left, but I don't want them.
You have betrayed me. So 3 really hard fought points there for Hallam and 4 for Rebellion.
In 2 minutes, for it to be no more than 1 scoring pass.
What were you saying about juicy tight jams?
I'm not saying it again. I can't. I'll go straight to announcer jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Immediately to prison. Do not pass go. Do not
get
collect
£200.
It's funny because there's no money in roller derby. You'll be collecting nothing. We've got free pita bread. That's about all we can offer you.
There's a fridge full of hummus.
Oh yeah, I mean, pretty
and
much.
that's not to say Fridge from SDRD has eaten a lot of hummus. He may have done.
Oh no, you made me cackle on the mic.
My work here is done.
I'm going to be shadow banned from the internet. Is Fridge with SDRD today?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Okay.
It's brought back trauma.
Going off for the man some hummus. Speaking of SDRD, they currently have 271 against the Kings of Block and Roll, who are at 47. So they're having a lovely time.
We're only telling you this so that you don't flip over to the other channel.
Yeah,
we want you to stay with us.
This is spicier. Speaking of spicy, Ginger Snaps goes around the outside for Lee Jammer. 3-on-3 in the pack. Got a couple of people who've been very naughty. Really, really nice. Flip-flop in there by Ginger to clear the scoring pass. Storm Cooper with the star pass now. First time Storm taking the star. Comes up against JT. Not in time. Oh, does she get some points? No points for Coop, but 6 for Ginger and Rebellion. So a 19-point spread now. A little bit more comfortable, but still very much within reaching distance for the Hellcats.
We've seen 20-point jams so far today.
We have.
Not in this game.
We've seen 24-point jams.
I missed the
Maybe
24.
a 20, or was it 23? There was a bigger one, but yeah. But this is characteristic of Derby at this level, right? When you've got teams who are close to each other in terms of their competitive rankings, like you're going to see fewer of those absolute blowout jams.
I think we've seen, I may be wrong, but I think we've seen teams up against each other this weekend that are closer in ranking that have had more blowout games than this one.
Sure.
This is exciting, and I'm struggling to form coherent sentences because of how exciting it is. Hallam on 58, Rebellion on 77. It could go either way. But we are in half-time.
Oh, God, I did not notice that. It shows what I know. Brilliant.
So we will be back in just under 10 minutes. Come back, get yourself a cup of tea, get a bicky.
Yeah, I've got 3 beverages on the go, so unless you've got at least one, then you're doing something wrong.
You need one for hydration, one for energy, and one for fun.
One for texture.
Texture?
The sparkly bubbles in my mouth.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like bubble tea or something like...
Oh, no, bubble tea's a hate crime. Actually, I had a bubble tea the other week, but... Like, you know when you sometimes like something and sometimes don't? You know those like pop-in boba pearls in bubble tea? Like sometimes delicious, really hit the spot. Sometimes you can't help but think it's like a spot bursting in your own mouth. And it was one of those times, so unfortunately it did ruin strawberry boba for me. And with that, we'll let you have 8 minutes.
Go get your bubble tea.
We'll let you decide whether you want to come back and listen to me talking about spots bursting in your mouth. I'm not just here for roller derby, folks. I'm here for all the thoughts in my head that have apparently no filter. We'll be back in 8 minutes. See you then.
Welcome back.
Welcome back indeed.
Felt like the quickest 10 minutes of my life.
Look, they cut the clock and I stand by what I said.
I said what I said.
Just had my producer kind of waggle there. Well, our wonderful tech producer waggle their finger at me as if to say, naughty, naughty, or Jesse, you're back late. And I'm no, I'm back exactly when I meant to be. Otherwise, if I'd gotten back earlier, he would have just listened to me for several minutes.
What is it? Is it Queen is never late? Everyone else is simply early.
Yeah. Julie Andrews in the Printer's Diaries.
Exactly.
Yeah. Blessed be her name. So, 77 Rebellion, 58 Hallam. This is the closest scoreline we've had this weekend. I stand by that fact that I've made up, but also I'm fairly sure it is actually based in reality.
Say it with your chest. Say it with enough confidence.
I say most things with my chest, to be perfectly honest. That's how I get my way. Anyway, it's a very exciting game. I think I can't call it. Like the other games I've watched or announced today, but half time, even if there is still possibility, I've been fairly confident that whatever teams in the league has been winning because they've been ahead by a good whack of points. Here, it's just a hair's breadth. This is the reason the metaphor of hair's breadth was invented, precisely for this moment where we've got 19 points between these two teams. Is it 19? I can't even... Is it 19? Or is it 21? I can't count. 2, 12. It is 19. I'm not going insane. I do have a GCSE in maths. I swear.
I concur.
Listen, people from my team are already like gently mocking me on the group chat for my announcing, and to them I say, carry on.
What's worse is that I'm a legit scientist.
A legit scientist, as opposed to a fake scientist. What kind of
Science is my job.
just all of science. What kind of science you do?
I'll tell you off air.
But like honestly, like just saying I'm a scientist is so funny.
I'm an embalmer.
You actually,
Maths is involved.
You forgot. No, actually, I did know that.
You did know that.
I did know that you worked with the dead. I mean, I work with teenagers. So
Same thing.
Same thing. On a Monday morning, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tell you, resilience comes from going to work with teenagers all day and then going to training from 8 to 10 p.m.
I've seen your socials recently, and it's
all right. Don't sound so judgmental.
No, it's like
my Instagram feed is hilarious. Thank you very much.
Going to school, going to training.
Listen, look, school, training, driving lessons because I'm 35 and I'm learning to drive. Therapy, more Derby. Like having a brat summer, now having a demure autumn. It's a very busy social calendar, and I will not be mocked for it.
Oh, there was no mocking.
Oh, actually, I mean, to be fair, I deserve thoroughly to be mocked for it. I very much have bitten off more than I can chew. But you know, that's why I'm here, spending my one free weekend between now and Christmas in a sports hall.
It's because we love our hobby.
We love it too much. It's quite unhealthy.
We love to skate, and we love to spend more time doing our hobby by talking about our hobby.
I've not told my therapist about roller derby yet, really, and I think she's going to have some words with me about it when I do.
I was going to say that seems to be quite a large part of your life to be omitting.
I mean, there's a lot of other nonsense that we need to filter out. Anyway, enough about me. Ginger Snaps and Ansel, who have been super impressive so far, are the jammers of the right now. Ansel really bouncing back after that little injury. Flies around for lead jammer. Ginger Snaps also out the pack, half a track behind. And great shielding offence in there from Storm Cooper and Abattoir. A bit of confusing whistling going on there. We've said before, it is confusing when we're in a hall with two games running simultaneously. But the jam is called with 4 on the board for Hallam. So a replay of the first jam of the first half. Ansel getting lead, I believe. Unless I've gone completely mad and something wildly different happened. Fairly sure Ansel got lead in the first jam. Yeah. Our producer is nodding at me, telling me that I'm not, in fact, completely bonkers.
And it's been a fairly even split in terms of who has been getting lead on either team.
Yeah.
It's, you know...
Ooh, I love this wall structure from Rebellion right now. This is so cool. Like, you know how walls, like traditional physical walls, are built with like bricks. That perfect... Yeah, don't mansplain walls to me, Smash, okay? I know they're built from bricks. What I was going to say is that like the whole point of a wall is that bricks are perfectly aligned, right? But what Rebellion are doing kind of staggered bricks, which I think is really effective. And it does get Kafut in some trouble. She is headed to the penalty box, leaving Pandemonium on a power jam. Now, was Kafut lead? I don't think she was. Was she? Anyway, I don't think there's a lead in the jam. And Kafut went to the box for a high block. That's a spicy penalty.
I was going to say, that's a...
The lesser spotted penalty today. It's normally forearms.
They're trying to... It's like Pokemon penalties. Got to catch them all.
That's what I say just before I foul out. I go, have I at least got the variety?
It is the spice of life. And Derby.
Sorry, Panda is lead. My bad. Forgot to use my eyes and my brain very briefly at the start of that jam. Picks up 1 point, though. So they're choosing to ice... Kafut in the penalty box. That's mean. Cool, right? Good strategy, but mean.
But seen it in a couple of games so far where we have had lead be awarded to the jammer that has started in the penalty box.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yes.
I love to see. I love when that happens.
We're lying to all of you, frankly. We don't have a power start. Grimlock is there, so Kafut must have just finished their penalty as the jam expired. Binks wearing the star. Got a lot of arms in places that I'm not sure they should be. That's all I'm going to say. Binks at the back, Grimlock at the front. Everyone, watch as I jinx it, now on track. And we're kind of in this really snarly pack. Oh, what happened there?
So Binks is being sent off for a cut track penalty. Grimlock was being sent to the back of the pack. Now at the front, causing a bit of mayhem as bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, so Rebellion trying to kill this penalty. They're doing a bit of waterfalling, but they are very much not in a four wall. Oh, Wreck and Ralph, so good with that fast drawback. This is the 5th power jam for Hallam. They're really struggling to make use of it at the moment, and you can see the wall there on your screen resetting for Binks' re-entry.
So Storm Cooper doing a massive hit on Binks to the inside.
So, I feel like I'm having jamnesia even though I'm not on track. I don't think Binks had lead. So, lead is technically still open. But Rebellion are just absolutely not having it. Oh. We saw Binks skating towards us there, looking very disconcerted. She's picked up I think that's a legal contact penalty. That's the code that's gone up. So once again, we're in a power jam situation, and Grimlock gets lead, calls it, has 2 points. So wait a second. There's some shenanigans that I've missed there, because I thought Grimlock was still on her initial. Did I just listen? I'm really sorry, audience at home. You deserve better announcing from me right now. Maybe it just all happened very fast. Because she must have been out on a scoring pass.
I mean, Rebellion were doing an incredible job of killing the power jam, so I quite missed it. But Binks sitting for 2 penalties now. Yeah,
she would have been given, I think, an insubordination there, because you saw on the camera that instead of skating off track at an angle, she just skated backwards on the track, like as in non-derby direction. Which shows that she was probably quite upset with that penalty, because otherwise she would have left the track correctly, I'm sure. So Ansel on a power jam, picks up leads. Hallam in a bit of penalty trouble again. And trying to keep Rebellion apart, but Rebellion just really good at getting back together in this. Look at that, the strength of that tripod.
And even not as a wall and as kind of lone blockers, they're still doing an incredible job of keeping Ansel held back. Well, they were. But, delaying the amount of time that it took, for Ansel to get out and get those points.
Binks now returned from the box, back on track. So had a full minute sat. Oh, and I can hear some shouts of call it, but Ansel, I think, is having a little bit of a tough time maybe hearing and now being told to run it.
So Binks now making it out for scoring pass.
Wilma wheels move, head into the penalty box. Hallam need to find a way of killing this penalty spiral, because looking at the board, we've got Wilma wheels move on 5. We've got Genuine Article on 5. Rebellion have got 3 skaters on 4 at the moment. One of them being a jammer.
Yep.
And I think all of Hallam's big penalty counts are blockers, so that's really concerning. But I only say it's concerning because it's 10 points, and this is the thing that's going to make the difference, right?
And the thing is that with one of those skaters that's in a bit of trouble for Hallam, it being Wilma Wheels Move, who has received the star multiple times so far this game. That's an extra level of danger.
Miller out with the star for Rebellion, but it is Kafut who finds a lovely path on the outside, picks up lead for Hallam. Hallam hitting their stride really nicely in terms of these lead statuses. Rebellion a bit more discombobulated off the line, but then able to regroup so easily on these catches. Oh, big hit there from, I think that's Steph Sentence or possibly JT. I can't quite tell from up here. The pivot for Rebellion right now. Let me see who they've got. Yeah, I think that was JT.
Oh, Wilma Will's move.
Wilma Will's move is like, if I'm going to foul out of this game in the next 22 minutes, I'm going to make it memorable, baby. Miller takes the star off and is handing it off to number 33. That's JT, the captain for Rebellion, putting in a real shift for her team this game. And we're all piled up in turn 3. Oh, look at that score.
Oh. 7 points picked up by Hallam in that jam. Big number for the second half so far.
Do you know what? It's always really, really hard to say what would be and what might be. I will point out that Rebellion are missing not only Airy Fairy, who we gave a shout out to earlier, who broke her ankle last week, but they're also missing Dewdropper and Pip, who are two of the most formidable jammers in the tier for me. Like, Pip is unreal. I love her so much. She's just a brilliant skater. Dewdropper is power like you've not seen. And they're missing Hells and Doyle and Farrow. And then for me, particularly, like, Doyle is such a rock in the wall. So it's not to say that Rebellion aren't doing a fabulous job, but missing a few key players and having others step up a bit is always going to be hard.
So Kafut for Hallam Hellcats has passed the star off to Wilma Will's move. Wilma going round on their scoring pass by the looks of it, so see if there's any points put up for Hallam. Doesn't look like there are.
And Rebellion holding on to that lead, a 7-point stretch right now.
So with 20 minutes of gameplay left, we've got Hallam on 79, Rebellion on 90.
Now, we've had a couple of lead changes, of course, but that was in really the early stages of the game. Once, after a while, Rebellion got the lead and have managed to keep it for the vast majority. I'd love to see a lead change in Hallam's favour now. I think that would really spice things up.
Put some pep in their step.
Well, quite. And as I predicted, they have put Boris out as a blocker for this half because Boris is a really good blocker. Max Payne, a wonderful referee, just blocking our view there, but looking absolutely sublime while they do so.
So Faye with the star for Hallam. First time we've seen Faye take the star in a while.
Since first half, certainly. She's had it 4 times altogether in the game. And it's really nice to give your main rotation jammers a bit of a leg rest. And it's a smart jammer matchup against Pandemonium, who is a great jammer, but not as physically strong as the likes of, say, Snaps.
So with the pack being stretched out, Faye not having the offense, but doesn't need it, gets out picking up lead jammer, but it has been over a minute of gameplay before lead jammer being assessed.
Yeah, Pandemonium escorted to the infield by Goldie Blocks. Fatal Attraction now coming round, trying her luck against Titch. Great threading offense there from her pivot. That is, I want to say Carnage, but yeah, from Carnage.
So we are going to have a 2-minute jam as Faye is sent off track for a cut track penalty.
So such bad luck. Pandemonium's still on her initial pass though, hasn't made it out the pack. And we've got 2 in the box for Rebellion. So Hallam statistically should be able to kill this power jam good and dead.
I think depending on how quickly Faye was able to actually get to the box, they may actually start the next jam from the box. Yeah, she's only been told to stand. We've only got 4 seconds left on the clock. So it is going to be a power jam start in favour of Rebellion as we go into the next jam.
So who's got 14 leads this half? Our wonderful producer is giving us some statistics. So Hallam have had 14 leads altogether. Rebellion have had 11. So really interesting. Rebellion with 10 points ahead, but 3 fewer leads. We have, of course, had quite a few jams where the leads have been lost, or we've had like 1 or 2 power starts. I don't know the answer to this game at this point. I feel like, I don't have the statistics to hand, but I feel like instinctively that Kafut and Ansel are the strongest star carriers for Hallam Hellcats now.
I'd agree with you on that one.
And I think people like Snaps on Rebellion, I'm just going to double check. Yeah, Snaps has played a really clean game, no penalties so far, and she's super, super consistent. So I would be, really tempted if I were a bench at this point to look at who the other team's lining up and send out a jammer to match or counter them. Rebellion putting Miller more out this half, and like I say, putting Boris in the blocking rotation.
I mean, Boris was picking up quite a few penalties in the first half.
They had 3 penalties as a jammer, but like I say, they're a really versatile player, so putting them on as a blocker is going to have a good impact. Miller with the star and a power start for Rebellion now. But see, again, here, I would have put Ginger on, because Ginger is so strong. Not saying Miller's not fantastic, but I would put out your really consistent, very forceful jammer. Hallam doing a lovely job hemming and locking Miller down at the back of this pack. Faye back on track, but that wall at the front with Wreck and Ralph as brace is really a bad time.
They've got Wilma Wills move up front, though, just as a kind of potential there to do some offense if needed, but...
Oh, great tenacity from Miller. Really, really super work. 40 seconds. And Wreck and Ralph absolutely blowing Faye to the outfield there. She's taken the star off, but we've got to have eyes on Miller, who just finds a wide open lane on the straightaway.
Rebellion with a bit of penalty trouble for their blockers, though. Steph Sentence and Caliber both being sent off for penalties.
Miller hitting her stride. Lovely little apex jump. Has 8 points on the jam. Faye yet to complete the initial. Has 1 to be at the front. Oh no, sorry. Is on a scoring pass. My bad. This is why I'm not a ref, amongst many other reasons. I think Rebellion are about to make... No more points on that pass. So Rebellion 2 points away from the century. Hallam at 84, so we've got 14-point spreads. And this, given the nature of the game, I think this is again one of the biggest spreads we've had, which is unreal, right?
I mean, we've been there have been times when it's kind of been sat around the 10 mark, around the 20. We've still got 16 minutes.
And this is going to come down to penalties now, isn't it? Because as you can see on your screen at the top kind of mid screen, you've got 2 Hallam blockers, which includes Wilma Wheels move. Wilma's having a great game, but she is also penalty heavy. She's a high rotation blocker. We've got 2 Hallam in the box, 2 Rebellion with one of them. I think that's Wreck-It Ralph standing. So we've got the tiniest little pack in the world right now. 2 Hallam, 1 Rebel. Where's the other Rebel? Well, they're just goofing about on track whilst we have an official timeout. Do you know what? This is also really tough because, of course, the winner of this game goes on to play Newcastle tomorrow. Now, Newcastle had a tough game against Sheffield, but they did still win by a considerable amount, I think at least 100 points. Whereas these guys are really having to fight tooth and nail for points at the moment. They're going to be tired. 1 blocker on track. So, yeah, we've got 3 in the box for Rebellion.
Oh.
But that Rebellion player is number 33.
Oh, it's JT.
Oh, JT. What an icon. What a legend. Does go to the box, however. Great work, but totally worth it. Kafut is lead.
That's a lot of red on the overlay for Rebellion.
That is a lot of red on the overlay. Naughty, naughty Rebels. Snaps looking for Wreck and Ralph. Wreck and Ralph? I just said that completely wrong, didn't I? No, it is Wreck and Ralph. I do apologise. And Rebellion go past that century, 102. Hallam with 8, 92. This 10-point spread is starting to give me hives. Like, I'm getting stressed. Remember when, you know, in like big WFTDA tournaments when they people used to do like bracket bets?
Oh, and like how, Malmo just destroys everyone's bracket.
Not all the time. Like, I remember there's, but I mean, obviously we can't do it the shape of this tournament as it is, but I really almost think we should start putting bets on because this is
side hustle as a bookie.
I'm not a gambling woman, but
could be tempted with this.
Could be tempted. Binks picks up lead for Rebellion. Carnage jamming for Hallam. First time with the star for Carnage. And Binks just absolutely storms that jam, man. Doesn't it? I don't think she touched the blocker the entire time. The absolute dream.
I think it's interesting. So Hallam behind ever so slightly. They've still got all of their timeouts.
Yeah.
They haven't touched them.
But the thing is, I think with the vibe of teams, like sometimes because they are playing really well, right?
Yeah.
And you almost don't want to disrupt that.
But we sometimes find that teams will use their timeouts to disrupt the other team when they're on a bit of a streak. But there haven't been those streaks.
I think they're keeping those timeouts in reserves in case it comes to the point where you might want one more jam because you're that close.
Yeah.
Lots of arms everywhere again. We're very armsy today. I think they're all legal arms at this point, but it looks like they could become criminal arms.
Criminal arms.
Criminal arms. Ansel up against this brutal Rebellion tripod. Brutal.
Backwards brutal.
Backwards brutal. Look, imagine being a jammer against 4 Rebellion blockers. I think I'd rather die.
I'd just sit down
I think I'd just go into the middle and I'm done with this. I'm absolutely done.
Just give me a mic instead. I'll do that.
She does have Goldie blocks trying to shield in some O. Steph Sentence doing some great one-on-one blocking there, but Ansel, nice little spin out in turn 2, picks up lead for Hallam. Can she swing this momentum in Hallam Hellcats' favour? I would love to see it. It would be super cool. Sacrificial blocking! We respect that, Carnage. We have the utmost respect.
I was saying earlier that that's what Derby is missing, sacrifices, but we've just seen it in front of our very eyes.
Oh, almost lands the apex hot, but doesn't. Will be forced to reset in turn 2. Miller has removed the star, still on the initial for Rebellion. Rebellion also 2 blockers in the box. Naughty Rebels. It's a bit, what's it called? Nominative determinism, right? The whole theory behind if you name yourself something, you are more likely to become that thing. So, like, if you're
cursed to.
Well, like if you're John Baker, you're gonna bake bread, like,
yeah.
or you know. But so if you name yourself Rebellion, you're gonna be breaking them rules. Respectfully, though,
respectfully breaking the rules.
Respectfully breaking the rules. Ginger Snaps and Kafut. Snaps with the lead for Rebellion. Kafut with a very quick whip off of the star. And does pass it off to Stormkeeper, who's having a lovely game for Hallam, doing some really nice work in the pack.
Snaps making fairly easy work of the pack there, picking up the 4 points for Rebellion.
Snaps is such a good jammer, man. Like, she's just so consistent. Like, you never see her wobble. Right, like if she shakes off a hit, she stays completely solid. Mad core strength. So our wonderful producer has thrown in some stats for me. I love stats. So this is in the game. This is across the game. So Ansel's had 6 leads. Grimlock's had 5. Kafut's had 4. That's a nice little 6-5-4. And then Snaps has had 4 by the looks of it. Is that 4? Is that number 4? So it feels weird because I feel like Ansel and Snaps have had more leads, but actually the numbers will tell you a different story. Oh my God, it's 8 points. I'm stressed now. I've actually, my bump's a goose. Like,
my bump's a goose. Straight to jail.
Oh, Binks with just a really great core strength there, like staying in, even though she was taken right to the edge by that Hallam tripod. Beautiful work. And do you know what? Binks never cracks a smile when she jams, does she? She's just like absolute cold steel.
Taking this very seriously.
Yeah. Which is a very rebellion attitude. Ooh.
So Grimlock taking off the star, trying to pass it to Carnage, and does so. We've got a star past Carnage, new jammer for Hallam Hellcats.
And Binks in scoring position, though, does have points in the pocket at this point.
Calling it
I think Carnage got at least one there. But I think Binks managed to get a couple.
So Carnage picking up one. So still sitting on a
10-point differential. Oh my God. I would be really. Now let me check. Let me check something because this part of the tournament is structured slightly different than Tier 3, and I think, which is huge, I know.
I didn't want to say it.
A woman thinking in this economy. Let me double check. So, yes, unlike Tier 3, which has got a few more teams in it, the loser of this game will get another game tomorrow.
Yes.
They will play Sheffield.
They're playing for the bronze medal.
Yeah. So, really, this is unreal right now. Ansel.
Bean dip from Ansel.
Oh, she's like one of those wooden toys you had as a kid where you'd push the button underneath and they'd go all wibbly wobbly.
You can't see us, but
oh, that was so cool. Oh, I've just lost my tiny mind.
Oh, so 2 scoring passes there for Hallam. Rebellion picking up 1. We're in a 3-point game with 9 minutes left.
This is not acceptable. So, listen. The reason I brought that up is because, of course, both these teams can watch this footage back tonight and absolutely nitpick it. But I feel like at the moment, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I think you need to be really mindful of your jammer rotations right now. Who are your statistically successful jammers? Speaking of the devil, and she shall appear, Ginger Snaps has a clean penalty sheet and lead status right now for Rebellion.
So we have had another star pass handing off to Carnage.
Carnage putting an absolute shift in this half as a pivot, right?
And Carnage now coming through for points.
But this is the thing, like, she's got points. She's got at least 3 points there. She's probably going to get the 4. Ginger's 4 ahead. That was absolutely ice cold from JT. Just, oh no.
Oh, Carnage going off track. For high block?
Okay. That's bad times for Hallam.
Is this what's going to cinch it for Rebellion? Potentially.
I mean, Snaps is not calling it because why would you? When you've got leads.
Third scoring pass.
Lovely calm blocking there from Hallam at the front, but she's going to ice her.
Carnage
Snaps.
frozen in the box.
Snaps. That's cold, man. That's correct, but cold.
Savage,
brutal, all the adjectives. I love cutthroat roller derby. Give me more of it.
So you've got words failing me. Carnage in the box.
And you've got Binks with a power start for Rebellion, and that is a dangerous place for Hallam to find themselves in.
So Hallam choosing to use the first of their team timeouts.
I think that's sensible. I think run your team until they really need a break and then give them one. Don't disrupt the flow when you've got it.
But after a 12-point jam from Rebellion, we haven't seen those massive jams so far in this half. So, don't disrupt your team, but disrupt Rebellion when they're doing stuff like that.
Oh, it's been a really good game, man. Like, this is why you come to Stoke-on-Trent on a September weekend when it's the nicest weather you've had for weeks and sit in a sports hall and don't see the sky for hours. This is why.
This is why. It's all worthwhile.
I mean, there are also people sitting at home going, my dudes, you could just pay for the stream and see the sun at some point, but we're gluttons for punishment in the announcer world. Come on, then. Just build that tension a bit more. Luckily, we've only got one game going on now, so every time I hear a whistle, I'm like, that's to do with this game.
Us.
With this game. This is the last game of today. We do start again, I believe, at 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Yep.
Which I've just realised is distressing for me because I think I'm on game 1. Binks up against a couple at the front there. Really nice edge control there by Hallam. Who's the pivot for Hallam there? Number 9. Is it number 9? Yeah. Is Ansel wearing the pivot?
I mean, so Carnage starting the jam as a jammer. So
yeah. Whoa! And Carnage is out. And Carnage is out of the box. Oh, that's cool. I love it when that happens. I'm surprised. I thought Binks would absolutely have that. Oh, look at Ansel bending her knees. What a show off. Some of us haven't been able to bend our knees for years.
Flexibility. Never heard of her.
Jammers with joints that still work.
So Carnage
Utter
up
respect.
against an absolutely brutal wall of Rebellion blockers.
Yeah, and Binks doesn't even make it out of on the initial. And
that's how you come back from the previous jam.
Yeah,
you have a pivot sitting in the box.
Let the rage guide you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I bloody rate Ansel as a blocker, man. Like, did you see that takeout on the outside line?
That was incredible.
Like, I have many friends who are jammers who are like, ugh, blocking, disgusting, vile, would never do it. And then when they do it, they're like 10 times better than me. And I'm just like, I've trained my life for this. How dare you?
So we are back to jammers jamming. We've got Grimlock for Hallam and Ginger snaps on their knees.
That was
for
the
Rebellion.
Okay, that was the coolest thing that's ever happened, ever. Did you see that little slide that Ginger did? That was unreal core control, man. Oh, Wilma's out. She's out. She's done. I just saw her go to the box with this look of absolute resignation. She is done. Ginger not even
thinking about that.
Not even having a touch. So that means that Hallam are going to be playing short this jam because Wilma will have fouled out, and you can't replace a skater in a jam who's fouled out. This is unreal work by Hallam, though. Let's remind you guys that they were a tier. They've not been in this tier for, like, this is their first season in this tier, and they've made it to the semi-final, which is bonkers. And of course, credit to Rebellion for all the hard work post-pandemic they've done building back their team. But like, they've got some people on that team who have been skating since time immemorial. Hallam in a little bit of penalty trouble here. And Ginger with a massive jam for Rebellion, 16 points so far. I think this is the biggest jam we've seen this half, actually. It's not been characterised by these long multi-pass jams.
Even the long jams that we've had, we haven't seen a score, that high. We've had, the low scoring long jams, but nothing like this.
Grimlock in scoring position. She does have four on the jam already. But skating really carefully, quite slowly, because you cannot afford to have your jammer get a penalty at this point. 20 points for Ginger. Oh my goodness. That's a statement and a half with 3.5 minutes to go. That's Ginger going, we did not come this far to only get this far, right? Like, we are going to that final. I love roller derby. I love the tenacity of it, man. I love the grit. I love the absolute refusal. I love the digging in and the scraping the barrel for those last vestiges of energy. It's just amazing.
It's incredible to see, like you said, last kind of bits of energy so late in the game to put up 20 points to come back from, I think Ginger, 2-point differential earlier?
Ginger's stamina is unbelievable from what I've seen. We've had a foul out on either side, so I did point out that Wilma Wheel's move went off track, but she's the top of the roster numerically, and the top of the roster numerically on Rebellion, Steph Sentence, has also fouled out. So we've got this kind of like lovely parallel on our stat sheets right now. Not lovely for the people involved, but aesthetically very pleasing, it must be said.
A lovely red line across the top of our screen.
A lovely red line across the top of our screen, yeah. And we have 2 players on still active on either team on 5 penalties apiece. if you're not breaking the rules, you're not trying hard enough, lads, are you? So good for you. And also well done to the people who have abided by the rules. I could never.
Can't relate.
Oh, do you know what? Ansel is absolutely... I think so many of Hallam have done a great job, but she's absolutely my player of the match. You know, she's so bendy. Look! That would have been cool if she'd stayed on track. It was cool. It would have been cooler. But yeah, I think Ansel and Wreck and Ralph on Rebellion have been my absolute...
Oh, Wreck and Ralph.
And Wreck and Ralph goes to the box, but the way she's going, she's like, that was 100% worth it.
Totally worth it.
That was just... We felt that from up here. Oh, my God. I hope Ansel's okay. I think my back teeth would have fallen out. Oh, my God. We both just physically recoiled in our seats. Miller battling away. Nice, calm blocking going on from Hallam at the back at the moment. While Ansel just goes to work around the outside line of the apex, ducks around Kiki and Titch.
Oh, I cannot handle this. I really can't.
That's why we're up here with the microphones. Oh, she's so cool, man. Imagine being that cool all the time. Just being in your daily life.
It's just spinning around in life.
Spinning around, the move out of my way.
That's what today has been missing. Kylie.
It doesn't every day miss Kylie.
So Miller, I think, still on their initial pass.
Yeah, just really great zonal defense here by Hallam, who are not in this traditional tripod. They're absolutely just laterally tracking like their life depended on it.
So 10 seconds for Ansel to just pick up whatever points they can.
I mean, can we look at this scoreline for just a hot second? Because Ansel's going to have more points in the pocket. She's got 12 on the jam. Oh my God.
If we go to overtime,
I really hope we do. 15-point jam for Hallam.
That is a 4-point differential. It could happen.
We've got a minute left. Now, listen, I know, right, Rebellion are doing what I would do at this point, which is they're putting Ginger out. Super smart, well done, no notes, right?
Yep.
If I were Hallam, I would call a timeout. I would let Ansel catch her breath for a minute and I'd put Ansel back out. She's by far and away their most successful jammer.
She's played clean, hasn't she,
She's played clean. She's a really good blocker if she's got to pass the star.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I really hope that's what they do. I'd love to see it. But I think the roof is going to come off in this place if Hallam get the lead change here. It will be absolute bonkers. Our whole crowd is glued to this game right now because the other track has finished.
Oh,
I'm stressed, Smash. I'm stressed now.
Oh, yeah, I've got the jitters.
So both Ginger and Ansel are on 0 penalties. So it's like you put your good ones, like, well done, you've not been naughty. You can go out for more playtime.
Well done.
You can go on the swings if you want. I don't know what, like, again, my bumps are goosed, my pimples are on, my hairs are on one end, all of the metaphors to describe funny feelings.
Funny official review.
They're going to use, I think they're using their official review as a timeout. I think they're giving Ansel as much breathing space as possible before she goes back on track. Because there's no one coming in the middle. That's good benching, that is, man. That is good benching. Unless we've heard anything else on the Discord.
I'm just gonna get my Discord server up.
I love it. Snaps is just sitting down. Snaps is going, I'm absolutely done with this. Let me skate.
I mean, has one of our lovely colleagues gone into the middle?
Do you know what I'd be absolutely obsessed with? Can you use 2 timeouts in a row? Because obviously you can use a timeout and then an official review. I'd absolutely be obsessed if they used their second timeout.
It comes back to what you said about stashing all. They've had those 3 timeouts. I predicted it, didn't
I? I'm actually really chuffed with myself.
You tend to be right.
I do. Thank you so much.
This is why they've paired us together, because we both say how right we are all of the time.
I really can't hear that enough about me. Oh, look. I'm standing up. I can't do this. I can't do this sitting down.
Oh, on your feet, everyone.
Let's
on your feet.
go. Come
LFG.
LFG.
It's fine. We didn't swear on track.
Or on the mic.
On mic. That's what I meant.
Oh my God, I'm actually dying. This is so stressful.
So, Ansel with the start for Hallam.
No, Ginger's got
snaps.
it. She's got it.
She's picked up lead for Rebellion.
Bloody nice work, Ginger, though. Fair play. Yeah, no, Rebellion are not letting them have this. So Ginger's going to run that period clock down and call it. If she gets a penalty now, I will scream. Actually scream. Yeah, no, she's fine.
Turn your volume down, folks.
Oh, man. Do you know what? Again, I've watched Ginger skate for years, and I've said earlier about how consistent she is. She just keeps a really cool head. Just absolutely does what needs to be. Look at her. She looks so relaxed. She's being so careful and so clean. You really got to admire.
Definition of demure.
She's so mindful. She's so demure. And what a way to end the most bonkers game we've seen today. That is unreal roller derby.
Oh.
And we have the unofficial score. Hallam Hellcats, who have had a fairy tale of a year and a half, at 144, and Rebellion, absolute stalwarts of the Derby world, 152. Just bonkers. What a game.
What a game.
What a game. What a game.
So that means tomorrow, Rebellion are going to be going on to play Newcastle.
That'll be a doozy.
Can't wait. And it does mean that Hallam will go on to play
Sheffield. Their neighbours.
Oh,
now that'll be interesting because they know each other really well.
Did they face off at playoffs last year as well?
They did, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Where Hallam would have taken the win.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, yeah, because Hallam then played Wiltshire in the final.
Yeah.
Unreal scenes. Absolutely,
absolute scenes in Stoke.
Yeah. Sentences we never thought we'd say. The score is now final, so we can let you go and calm yourselves down because I certainly need some calming down time. We will be back live on stream from 9 a.m. tomorrow. You do not want to miss it. You'd be a fool to miss it. You get to listen to me and Smash again at some point. Well, definitely me. Maybe you, if they let you on again. I only say that because I don't think we've finished the rota yet. So
I've been summoned to go and see Dork immediately after this call is finished.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on the Five Nations Roller Derby live stream. I've been Loud and Queer.
And I've been Smash.
We thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Take it easy.